Welcome back to Marriage or Hell No. Fellas, on this Thursday morning, I got a good story here for you guys because what we're going to be discussing is a good old-fashioned karma story where a man was in a relationship with a woman for 20 years. She cheated, and let's just say she messed up big time. Without further ado, let's get straight into the story. Girlfriend of 20 years cheated. She worked at an assisted living facility. Decided to take on a part-time gig as an in-home aide for a dude in a wheelchair. He wanted out of the facility, but he needed an aide. She went through the entire hiring process and got him moved into an apartment without ever mentioning anything about it to me. Wasn't until she didn't come home until 3 a.m. and I flipped out about how she had been MIA all day that finally told me what she was doing. I couldn't believe that it was platonic, so I asked to see her messages to the guy. That's definitely not how you spell the word platonic, but we're going to crack on because sometimes when these guys write these stories, they're a bit worked up. Everything was deleted. I expressed my suspicions about her infidelity and was told it wasn't like that. Now, fellas, let's just take a quick pause right here. We already know most of the maneuvers that most women make. For instance, if they're going to cheat, they usually already make contact with the person that they're going to cheat with prior to actually doing the do, if you know what I mean. And if she stayed out until 3 a.m., more than likely, you already know what she was doing. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson with the booty clapping sounds. A few days later, I asked to look at her phone again. This time I found a hidden page of apps and open Snapchat. She had been saving all of their messages going back the past 6 months. It was bad, like heart-stopping bad. I would go to work overnight and she would stay up sending him lingerie and juicy pictures. Now, sometimes I switch up the lingo a little bit just to avoid trouble from YouTube. So when I refer to the juicy, that could be known as the vajayjay, or rest in peace to my man Pimp C, what he would call the good stuff. Also, their chats proved that they had been intimate and in love. This is when she claimed that it's not like that anymore, capitalized. I took the fuse for the fuel pump out of my car that she was driving and asked her to leave the home I had bought for us. Gave her a 60-day notice to get her shit out of my place. I had to put a little bit of extra sauce on there. So you can see this guy is not playing around and he is not about to reward any type of bad behavior. Take notes, young fellas. She signed over the custody for our 12-year-old son and was happy to only get every other weekend visitation. She moved into her mom's house for a while before eventually moving into the dude's apartment. Fast forward to January of this year, 2022, the dude expires. She gets less than 2 weeks to get moved back into her mom's house. And come to find out that she quit her full-time job at the assisted living facility 2 months prior, relying on the money she was getting from her boyfriend and home aide. This story is downright shameful. She's 40 years old, single, unemployed, living with her mama. Meanwhile, I've since met my best friend, soulmate, and got engaged. Cheaters never win. And fellas, you know I love this story. So as you can see, this woman is screwed up big time. She done messed up her whole damn life where she was with this guy for 20 years, decided to jump out the window and cheat on him, then moved in with the guy, and then the guy expires. This is a sad ass story, but one thing I will say is I love that comment at the end. Cheaters never win. A story like this is always a good story for men to hear because it lets us know that we don't have to put up with any bad behavior. This story almost crossed over to SSM territory. Shout out to SSM because he does a great job of showing men that no matter where they're at in their relationship, they can basically get rid of her, move on, and have a great life going forward. Now I'm going to transition to the comments because you know the fellas were fired up about this one. The first commenter says, I divorced my cheating wife and now living my best life. I have a great new wife, good job, and son together. She is basically homeless, now living where she can. Can't find steady employment. She had it good with me and threw it all away. The dude she cheated on me with tossed her to the streets when he was done with her. And you already know the fellas are loving this one with 120 upvotes. Wow, life is good. I must say it is. I love me a good karma story. Next comment, I love a good love story. The next person chimes in with a very interesting point because I was thinking this myself. What country are you in? Laws in the US are it doesn't matter who cheated. My wife cheated on me for over a 3-year period with several guys while I was paying for her master's degree. We have shared custody of our kid, but because I make more money, I pay her $500 a month in just child support. And she's the cheater. Luckily, I had a post-nuptial agreement that was signed before divorce, so no alimony and no pension. But damn, it still hurts when I have to write a check to her every month. That's an interesting one right there, fellas. Take note of that post-nuptial agreement part. It saved this man from having to pay alimony, and she got no parts of his pension. And the last commenter goes, wow, karma got her bad. They will regret it, cheating, but it's too late after. She is damaged goods now. In closing out this wonderful story that I hope motivated you guys here on this Thursday morning, the last thing I'll add, as long as you're being a productive man doing the best thing that you can do, never worry about what a woman does, because at the end of the day, you'll get the last laugh, because as you can see, she thinks she can do better, but she just left the best thing that ever happened to her. Never put up with bad behavior, fellas. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.